Good morning, Chris. Thank you so much for your time this morning in sharing your experience with Don Hummer Trucking and McLeod Software. Specifically, we would love to get some insight from you regarding your success, your business success through the pandemic that has, and all the challenges that have affected us so far in 2020. Your company has been extremely successful, and we'd love to hear how technology and your strategies have helped to benefit you and Don Hummer Trucking through the challenges.
Well, thanks, Heidi. Thanks for inviting me to be on this segment with you. So 2020 has been a little bit of a wild ride so far. So, for us starting in say mid-March, we knew some things were going to happen. We weren't sure what yet, like everyone else. So early March, we started evaluating our individual users and what their situation might be. Found out we had a few users without laptops and things like that. So we went out and purchased those kind of ahead of the rush. Friday, March 13th was really kind of a pivotal point where we realized that, hey, we really need to do something here in order to protect our people. So, in protecting our people, we're looking at that in a number of ways. So certainly protecting their health, but also protecting their source of income from a business continuity standpoint and taking care of our customers' standpoint. So by Monday, March 16th, we kept about half of our office staff home. And by Wednesday, March 18th or so, we had effectively everyone who could perform their job from home was working from home. So that was something we hadn't practiced before, but we knew we had to do it. We knew that the challenge of doing it was a huge unknown at that point. So we needed to make sure that we didn't have a single point of failure. That was a big piece for us. So particularly early on, we're concerned, hey, if we have 50 people in an office building and something happens, we can't take care of our drivers. So that's not consistent with protecting our people. And we also can't take care of our customers. Aside from the obvious health risk for the office staff. So we also put in place workplace restrictions. So our technicians at our company shops couldn't get in drivers' trucks. Drivers couldn't access the shop areas. Like everyone else, we got personal protective equipment as quickly as we could, with face mask, hand sanitizer, that kind of stuff. So a lot of the practical pieces to keep our people safe as well. But having that technology piece sort of ready to go was pretty critical in making that decision faster and easier.
Excellent. I love that safety of your people. It was primary in your response to the crisis that we were facing. And as quickly as you all moved from being at 50% remote on March the 13th to by the 18th being at 100% essentially, that's a very quick move. How did you ensure that you could maintain business continuity during that time frame, being that this was in fact uncharted territory for your company up to this point?
Well, probably like most things, when you're able to move quickly, it's because you've already established a really good foundation, right? So I actually have a quote on my desk that hangs on my monitor that says something to the effect of, 10 years of practice and really hard work will make you look like an overnight success. So this particular story probably starts further than 10 years ago. So we've been a McLeod customer for well over 20 years now. And that certainly set the stage for what we were able to do, in a pandemic situation, which I don't know that a whole lot of us talked about prior to, say, March of 2020. But being a McLeod customer, being very active with the product, and keeping up to date on our technology in general. So, Sure, Loadmaster, Power Broker, all the McLeod products are enterprise ready. Certainly real world tested, but they also rely on proper infrastructure to run correctly. So, the condition of your servers, how your network's set up, um, what's your bandwidth, what's your network redundancy, how's your firewall set up, how's your remote connection set up. So, there's a lot of infrastructure pieces, I guess, that you have to have in place because you don't know when you're going to need them. And I think a follow-on to that then would be, so you can go buy all these great products, but you actually have to use them, right? So, a great McLeod product is document power, so the document imaging system. So you can go paperless. But that only works if your people have a culture where they go paperless. And you also use EDI, and you also use some of the other integrated features. If you walk in your office and everyone's desk is covered with paper, you're probably not using document power correctly, and you're probably also not prepared to move to a work from home scenario. So, as you start layering up the various, the various pieces to support that sort of rapid response, not only do you have to purchase them, you have to give them the infrastructure that they require, and then you actually have to implement them and use them daily as they were intended to be used.
Absolutely. Full adoption is without question key to being able to manage the software successfully and to the maximum benefit of your company. And it sounds like you all have managed change management very well through that process of having to make that transition quickly. And a lot of your success has to do with the fact that your employees were fully on board and very comfortable with the use of McLeod software. So that's fantastic. If you could make a recommendation to any other company going forward based upon lessons learned from the past few months, the challenges that 2020 has provided so far, and the successes that you've had the opportunity to embrace through it, what would you recommend? What best practices would you recommend going forward for someone else that might be considering advancing technology that they support within their company?
Well, so we talked about the importance of having a stable network infrastructure. So, what kind of network connection do you have? Is there redundancy? Is it protected by appropriate firewalls, VPNs? Will your remote access support the number of users that you need to support? And that's all there to support your enterprise systems. But there's some other pieces that we had in place that I think are really critical to how we were able to move quickly from being in the office to a work from home and remote work scenario, that are layered up kind of behind and maybe alongside McLeod. So that can be things such as Microsoft Office and Microsoft Teams, some of the document imaging capabilities from vendors such as TransFlow, or even think about something as simple as CatScale, right? They have a Weigh My Truck app that keeps your driver from having to go inside a truck stop to get a scale ticket. So convenient in a non-pandemic world, but suddenly takes on a whole new life when you look at that in a world that we're dealing with today. So once we layer all those things up to where you have a culture, and another piece we have that we had in place was video conferencing. So about 18 months ago, we installed a pretty robust video conferencing system, and all of our terminals and even remote folks were used to meeting virtually. So that was something that we already did multiple times a day. So when we had to convert to, hey, everybody's basically going to do that, it wasn't a disruptor. People already knew what to do. They were comfortable with the technology. Um, and that's a piece, I think. All of these things together are really a cultural piece. So nobody batted an eye when we said, hey, you know what, tomorrow everybody's going to stay home and we're going to convert to work from home. Nobody said, well, I don't know if we can do that, or how will we take care of our drivers. It was, everybody was all in. They're all pointed the same direction, going as hard as they could go. They had faith in the technology, but they also had faith in each other, and really strong commitment to what here we call delivering value. So that means really we're going to be the best overall option no matter what. So, right, we want to be the best place for a driver to come work. We want to have the best combination of service, capacity, technology, right, the best overall value. That's what we want to do here, and our people, picked that up and ran with it in, certainly less than ideal conditions, and having the right technology systems, McLeod included, and all the various products, Loadmaster, Power Broker, Document Power, FlowLogix, EDI modules, all those pieces that enable that paperless sort of digital world. They worked as well with people in 50 different locations as they did with people in one location or 3 locations as we normally operate. So certainly a mix of having good technology, good processes, but more importantly, it's having good people that are willing to do what needs to be done.
Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more, and I'm so glad to hear about how much the technology has been able to help in your success. I love the fact that you are a people first oriented company, and the fact that delivering value is the most important goal. And we greatly appreciate the partnership that we have with you from McLeod and the 20 plus years of business you've provided for our company. You've been a tremendous partner, and you've allowed us and helped us to grow and learn from your company's experiences in order to strengthen our product. And we greatly appreciate that commitment from you, and we look forward to many years to come in partnership with you and McLeod, with Don Homer Trucking and McLeod.
Absolutely. Same goes on this side. We absolutely appreciate the partnership, and we are very happy and proud to see the progress and the commitment to the industry that McLeod has, and I think very similar cultures at the end of the day. So it's been a great partnership, and I don't think we could have done it without you.
Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Heidi.